from Morgan State, we have with us head coach Pat Casey, student athletes Jorge Reyes, Joey Wong, and Braden Wells. We'll ask Coach Casey to start with a opening statement, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Well, this time of year, you try to win baseball games, and you just find a way to win. And fortunately for us, we did. And I mean, for everybody who was there, they saw a tremendous pitching duel with Zach and Jorge, and phenomenal on both sides of the ball. Georgie was 93 to 95, and Marty was working with the hitters today. He was flipped. I had the infielders. So. That's a joke. That's a joke. Anyway, well, you just try to find ways to win games. And one thing I tell these guys when they go home for Christmas, I say, you're not a freshman anymore, so don't come back as a freshman. And because you're gonna be in the heat. You've been here all spring, all fall. We've played 20 inter squads. You're around the guys. That's your freshman year right there. You come back, and it makes you feel good when you look at the new players that we have. When you look in the future and you see that you're starting a super regional with a freshman on the mound and a freshman at second base. So, and I was impressed with them. It was it's about these guys. These guys, they play the game, and we coach and practice. So they're the guys.
Joey, talk about your last at bat. What was the pitch, and describe what happened?
It was another splitty. He's been throwing it all day, making us look silly pretty much, but I just happened to be the guy up there at the dish at that time, and the ball just found a hole, and so just gonna thank God for that one. It just kind of squeaked through the infield, so it's just it was a great pitch, but it just got through.
Go ahead.
Sorry, the first two that you missed, were those splitters too? You missed them by a mile.
Yeah, those are both.
Thanks, Norm.
You're welcome.
Oh, were you sure it was a mile?
It's pretty close.
I thought you'd take that pitch still the other way.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially with 2 strikes, that's usually our philosophy going up to the dish. I just wasn't going to try to guess a pitch because that split is so dangerous. So I was just going to wait and try to hit it the other way, no matter what the pitch was. And he just gave me another splitty outside. So.
How good was Putnam, and why was he so effective?
I think he was just around the zone all day with his curveball and fastball, and then when he got in those positive counts for him, he was able to get us with the splitty. It's a pretty good pitch, and you just got to tip your hat to him. Threw a great game.
Joey, could you take us through that play where you saved that ball going into right field there? Did you see the throw coming, or you?
It was just another one of those bunt plays where the bunt to the right side, and I'm going to first. Jordan and Jorge are reading, and I just happened to be the guy at first. There wasn't anybody else there, so I just reacted and tried to keep the ball in the infield.
So you sort of agree with Coach Casey, no longer a freshman anymore, no nerves or anything at this point?
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially the big leaders on our team like Listman and Canham and Darwin have always been preaching that, since we started the winter training, and so I think we come back and it's not the upperclassmen and the lower classmen, it's all one team, and I think that's what makes us tough to beat.
Braden, could you take us through what happened from the crack of the bat?
Well, with Joey up at the plate, there's 2 outs, so I was going on every swing. I was trying to get the best jump possible. Coach Casey's making sure I'm out there getting my feet moving, and once I heard the crack of the bat, I just took off and said, "Here we go." And Coach Lees waved me around. So
he did wave you all the way.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure his arms were going before Joey even hit the ball. So.
Did you think you were going to make it?
Oh, I was. There's no one stopping me. I was getting to home plate without him tagging me out. So
Did you see the throw? Did you see it kind of over your?
No, I don't remember who was at the dish telling me to slide outside. I just went a little bit outside and hook slide it, so I didn't see the throw at all.
Okay, did you have a scatter report on the left fielder at all, or are you just going? That was.
Well,
he was very shallow.
It didn't make any difference the way we were hitting the ball. Marty hadn't used his right arm all day long, so he was coming. Marty, we had some eye contact with Wellesley at second base because we had something else on our mind, and anyway. I don't think there's any question that we had to try to score there. Really, we'd struggled. The kid was good, and he was real good. And fortunately for us, Georgie matched up. So little things win big ball games. We talk about it all the time. Just like Braden's saying here, hey, my focus was as soon as the ball hit the bat to get the break. they're just little tiny things that win big games, and the bigger the game, the smaller the things that win them.
Can I talk about the decide to stay with Jorge today, and you had some options obviously with the rest?
Well, like we said yesterday, we got 3 starting pitchers, and George is outstanding. We're not afraid to throw him against anybody, and the day rest was going to help Mike, and Georgie was ready to go anyway. I think it might have been a little letdown for George to say you're going to throw and then come back today and find out he wasn't. So we had made that decision last night before we left, and just pitched really well. Proud of him.
Coach, you can't underestimate the enormous way of, I guess, getting the first game in a series like this, the best of 3, kind of really setting the tone. Can you just talk about that, winning this first game, so more of this elimination stuff?
We talked about this. We talk about this all the time, and the players will back me on this. We never get ahead of ourselves, ever. When we were back at Virginia, somebody said to me, "Gee, it's going to be a long road now." I said, "No, we got to beat Rutgers tomorrow. Our concern is Rutgers, and we'll play 1 pitch, 1 inning, one at a time, and we have no thought on anything other than game 2." And that's a great club, obviously, and we were fortunate today to win a very good baseball game, pitcher's duel. You don't see them that much in college baseball, but I knew that their pitching was going to be good when I saw the scores back at Vandy and those kinds of things. So, we had a good club on the field, and they had a good club on the field, and the right hit at the right time.
What was working for you today? Talk about your approach today and what was working for you.
I just felt that there was a lot of other hitters were standing away from the plate, and Coach Spence was calling a lot of fastballs. He obviously felt that I was throwing it for strikes today, and I had a little bit of command, so I just felt like fastball was working.
Obviously, the most important game you pitched. Is it the best game you really pitched?
I don't know. Best game I pitched here by far, I think, and also the most important game.
Coach, what are your thoughts behind using Babson?
Well, Mitch came in and said, "Hey, you know what? George's slider's starting to flatten out a little bit, and he's throwing. It appears to me that he's starting to, get deep enough into the game." And he told Spence, let's make sure somebody's ready to go. Well, they had the left-handed kind of. I think they had left, right, left, and with Joe down there, with the way it happened in Virginia, Spence thought that let's go, and Terp was ready to go, Kuntz was ready to go, and I thought that, I just thought, I told him, I said, if that's what you want to do, let's do it, let's go, and obviously it was a good decision. Joe was lights out in Virginia, and I saw the game last night where Mississippi took Arizona State into the bottom of the ninth, 3-1. They left their starter in there. Not that always, works or doesn't work, but I mean, it's hard when you get a great start out of a kid and then he loses it at the end. So I just think that with the confidence we have in our staff, that it was the right thing, and obviously it worked out for us today.
Did you consider starting Kuntz in the ninth?
No, we did not. Matter of fact, we're going to go 1 hit at a time, and our fear with that club is that they have so much power, and right-handed power, and that was our only fear with that situation. But we felt pretty good the way Joe threw the first inning, let him start second inning, go hit at a time, and so.
Did that throw you mentioned that your pitching plans for tomorrow?
No, absolutely not.
Use Stutz in the line?
I have no idea what we're going to use tomorrow. I'm assuming that we're going to start Stutz. We're going to meet here in about 5 minutes with the club, and then we'll meet as a staff. And our assumption, going into today was that we'd try to, stay in the rotation that we had planned prior to coming in, which was going to be Georgie and then Stutz. And you always got Joe Pa that can close, and you got Terp back there that can start. And we kind of had to do that at Virginia too.
Jorge, did you feel the same way that Mitch did?
Not really, but it's. I mean, what Coach Casey just said is true. I'd hate to have myself throw 7 good innings. I felt I threw really good, and then if myself was finding out, have them catch something and hit it over the fence, or any little mistakes that might get us a loss. So I really want to go out there just because I was really pumped up, and I like going out there and pitching, but Coach Spence, Coach Case have done this before. They know a lot more than I do, so they made the right choice.
I mean, are you even more pumped up when the other guys throwing that kind of game and you're matching?
Coach Casey thinks nobody likes to lose more than him, but I think he's wrong.
It's good
so
to know.
If that guy's going out there and trying to beat me, he's got something coming for him.
Coach, you and Braden and Lonnie and I think Marty had a little huddle just before you put Braden in for Scott at first base. What was that all about? Was it kind of strategy where you're working on there?
Yeah, and we were just trying to make sure that we were all on the same page. Braden is a high energy guy, so sometimes I got to put the collar on him and make sure that he wants to get to third before he gets to second. So I just making sure when I throw him in the game that everybody's on the same page, and we had an opportunity there to just kind of make sure that everything was good. And
know if you were going to get another opportunity like that anytime soon.
Yeah, it was. We were just so happy to see a guy get to first base.
I think, Pat, going back to the 2005, after you beat SC that game in the regional championship, I don't think you've given up more than 3 runs in 9 innings of an NCAA game over the next 2 years. Is that pitching and defense? Is just I know you always emphasize it, but just in the playoffs, just more so, pitching and defense is so important.
Well, yeah, it is important, and I don't think that the one thing I addressed this a little bit yesterday when we were struggling down the stretch. People kept coming to practice and saying, "Hey, what are you guys doing differently?" And I would like to tell you that we're going to do something differently, but when you do it from September and we have a plan of how we think we can win baseball games. We just have to do it, And so, in other words, we haven't put any more emphasis on defense or any more emphasis on pitching. If we could do that, that'd be wonderful. But our philosophy is that if you pitch and defend, you got a chance to win the game, and therefore we put that emphasis in how we recruit and some things like that. And trust me, I'd like to score some more runs. I thought last year that we had a beautiful combination of pitching, defense, and then some offensive explosion. We won the second game against North Carolina 11-7, down 5-0. We had to get 11 runs. Beat USC on the third game of Super Regional 10-8. We had to get more than 8. So this team kind of has a little bit of a knack, or I guess I would say over the course of the last couple of years, a little bit of knack of kind of, when we need to do something, getting it done. And by no means do I think that right now that we can change anything. I think what changes is, your the energy level, from everybody. You guys feel it, so you got to kind of ride it out a little bit.
But the other guy in the other team is so good. The mistakes, if you make them, they're magnified so much.
Exactly. Yeah. Anybody that plays in a super regional has to get to 16 teams out of 300. And I just, I can't tell you, how good. I was watching Irvine today on TV playing Wichita State, and baseball, college baseball is good. It is good, and it's so rewarding for a coach to see so many guys leave college baseball and go to the big leagues in a year or a year and a half. It solidifies what we're trying to do, and that's bring young men here and give them a college experience, and this just is phenomenal.
Is there a certain comfort level that you have that maybe you're not used to after winning this game going into tomorrow?
I'm a high energy guy, man. I think that there's no comfort for me at all until it's over. We always tell guys, you gotta finish. I feel fortunate, feel blessed to be able to coach. I feel like I have some great young men. I feel like we've seized some opportunities, and the rewards are great when you step through the door.
What's that opportunity tomorrow coming up then?
Yeah, tomorrow's a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity for us to go out and play another baseball game.
Joey, what does it mean to have the game-winning hit in such a big situation today?
I don't know. I just think that it's not really about who gets the hit or whatever. I think it's about our team and just getting the W, and about our 25 guys getting a win tomorrow. And I just think that's where our focus is right now. And I'm not going to say that I'm not happy that it was me, but I'm pretty excited that I got the chance. But I think that it takes your whole team to get it done, and I think that's what we did today.
We good?
Thank you.
Thank you.